everyone, welcome. It's officially summer here and I'm actually in the middle of a heat wave. I don't know if you can see it on me, but it's very hot here and it's got me thinking about summer vacation and travel plans. And I've been trying to kind of level up some of my travel gear. I had a lot of flights last year and luckily a lot of them were shorter distance, but I realized that I no longer had a travel neck pillow. I used to have one that I bought, at a newsstand in the airport, one of those cheap, like just kind of U-shaped rings that I wore on a very long flight from New York to Latvia a couple years ago. And I'm pretty sure it ended up in a trash can in the Riga airport because I was so sick of it by the end of the flight. So I've been testing out this Evolution Classic neck pillow from Cabeau. It's kind of their baseline neck pillow, hence the name Classic. And I really like it. It's a higher quality than a lot of the ones that I've found, those cheap, airport ones, or even like the dreaded, inflatable ones. It's made from better materials. It's honestly kind of the same price. And I've been really enjoying it so far. I haven't been on a flight with it yet, but I've been, testing it out around the house, wearing it at my desk while I work on my computer. I even tried napping, sitting up on my couch in it, which I looked like a crazy person, but I was a comfortable crazy person. But let's get into some of the details that I like about this. So it is made of memory foam. It's super squishy. And then this cover is a polyester velour, really, really soft, and it's washable. The cover is washable. So there's this zipper in the back here that you can unzip and you can pull out the foam. So you can throw this cover in the wash, which I think is great because airports are kind of icky. And, it's nice to be able to wash it after a long flight. Let's see. Oof. My hair's getting me in the way. So it's got this like really nice kind of high-sided design, which at first threw me through a loop just because it comes up so high on me. I don't know if my neck is maybe a little shorter than the average person, but it comes up like almost to my ears. But it actually makes it really, really comfortable, especially if you're sitting in like a middle seat. So you can kind of, lean to the side, and I feel like my head's not really going anywhere. It's still supported, but it's very comfortable. This has been me walking around my house all week, like I said, like a crazy person. So that's one of the things I really like about this one, though, is these high sides here, especially because I will always choose the aisle seat on a plane. I love the window views. And every once in a while I'll go for the window seat, so I shouldn't say always, but like 9 times out of 10 I'll choose the aisle seat just because I have a tiny bladder and I get very anxious about having to like climb over people, especially strangers, on a long flight, so I'd rather just be able to get up and go to the bathroom if I need to. But the problem with the aisle seat, especially if I'm flying alone, if I don't have my husband next to me to lean on, is that there's like really nowhere to go to lean. You don't have that window to lean against, so I feel like this is gonna be really nice. I can just drift off in my aisle seat and then still wake up and go to the bathroom when I have to. I like this little clip in front. It's got a drawstring on both sides, but then it also clips together, so you can kind of leave it loose when you're just kind of like sitting, not napping. And then it makes it, the fact that there's a drawstring on both sides actually makes it really adjustable right here, so that when you are ready to nap, you kind of like can cinch it in, and then even if you start to nod off and do the head bob, it kind of catches you a little bit. Another thing that I really like about this, my hair's stuck. Another thing that I really like about this is this like flat back. Those U-shaped ones have like the rounded back here, and it actually like kind of pushes your neck forward when you're leaning against the back of the seat of the airplane. So I feel like this is like a nice compromise because it's like flat against the seat of the airplane, but it's also squishy enough that I should have pulled my hair back for this. When you're leaning back, you can see it actually gives you like a little bit of support there, like something to lean against. which is really nice. So that's another thing that I really like about this design. It's overall pretty simple. They basically just took like the classic U shape and improved it with, you know, a better molded design and obviously like better quality materials. Right now it comes in 4 different colors. I got the blue because I thought it was pretty. They have a couple of other pillows and they all come in their own different color ranges. And then there's this little side pocket here, which is kind of like the perfect size for like a set of AirPods or earbuds. It doesn't zipper or anything, but it's like a little stretchy and kind of like taut enough that I think if you put, you know, I tried, let's see, I have a pair of earbuds right here. You know, you can kind of like shove stuff in and like shake it around. It's not really gonna go anywhere. I wouldn't put anything super valuable in there just because it doesn't zipper. A few things that I don't particularly like about this model. The biggest one I think is that there's no bag included. Some of their other ones have a bag, like a travel bag included, which like I said, you know, airports are kind of icky. And especially when you go through security, like putting it on that little conveyor belt, I like to have it in a bag. You can just carry it around and like, you know, shove it into your purse or your suitcase if you have to, or, you know, carry it around in like a, you know, any kind of shopping bag or something. Just be careful of the size of the bag because you don't want it to count as like an extra personal item. You know, if you also carry a purse when it's really just a pillow. I feel like if you, I mean, I don't know, you might have to talk to a TSA agent, but I feel like if you had just a pillow in a bag, they'd probably let it slide. But yeah, I wish that this one came with some kind of a carrying case. And like I said, some of the newer models do, most of the newer models do. But that being said, I did get their on-the-go sling bag, which I'll probably do another video just about this because this thing is pretty awesome. And my husband has already decided that he's gonna steal this from me. But it, like, they do sell this separately and it is the perfect size to just kind of squish up the pillow and shove it in there. And then there's also, you know, plenty of space for other things. And that way you could just, you know, clip this to your luggage or, you know, just send it through security and not have it touching that questionable conveyor belt. But yeah, that's really my only complaint about it. It's a little bit bulky. It's a little bit, especially, you know, during a almost July heat wave. It's a little warm. They do have cooling options too. Other cooling pillows too, if you prefer that. Just because like the combination of memory foam and velour is a little bit warm. I always get cold on airplanes, so that's not an issue for me. But if you are someone that runs particularly hot, even on an airplane, you might want to look into some of those cooling options instead. And then in terms of like ease of use, like I said, I've been wearing this around the house just because. It's my new accessory, but you know, it is like super comfortable. You can lean to the sides. You won't, you know, especially if you like kind of tighten it up right here. It kind of lifts your chin a little bit and prevents you from doing like too much of the head nod. I also have been testing it with different like headphones. Like obviously, AirPods and earbuds and stuff are super easy. The one thing that I was worried about were my Beats. And again, because it comes up a little higher, like, you know, it's actually pushing up my earlobes a little bit. The first time I put on my Beats, I was like a little bit concerned that I wasn't gonna be able to get them on all the way. But because it's memory foam and it kind of squishes down, they actually stay on pretty well. You just kind of just vibe on the airplane, listen to your music. Like I said, it comes in 4 colors. It right now costs about $24.99 on their website, which I did a check on like a quick Amazon search, and other than like 1 or 2 of the like plastic inflatable ones, which were like $9.99, anything that was like actually made of foam, they're like cheapest options even, of just like the cheap U-shaped ones, like the one I got in the airport were about $24.99 as well. So it's like honestly about the same price as any other neck pillow, except for those super cheap blow up ones that have the like seam that cuts into your neck. If you've tried them, you know. Yeah, but it's for like the same price. You get better quality, washable, memory foam, everything like that. If you do want to upgrade a little bit, Cabeau does have a couple of other options for neck pillows that, you know, I might try out in the future as well. They have, like I said, they have a cooling one that's like vented. So if you run hot, that might be a good option. They also have their S3 has straps along the back that actually hook onto that, you know, that little like flip down headrest that a lot of airplanes have. So you actually can hook that on either side, so it like helps your head stay up and you don't do the head nod. It also, I think, is probably really nice if you have to like get up to go to the bathroom. You can just like leave the neck pillow hanging there and don't have to like sit it down in your seat and have it wind up on the floor. I don't know how often I would use it. I'd probably use it when I'm going to the bathroom. It's just like a hook. I would probably give it a shot, but I also feel like I don't necessarily like the restriction of being hooked on, so I don't know. It's worth trying out, I guess. And then they have one called the TNE that has the straps in the back, and it also has like a more substantial kind of chin strap instead of this drawstring. It's got like a wider strap here that actually like you can kind of rest your chin on a little bit more, which if you tend to fall forward a lot, or if you're, especially if you're, I feel like you're in a middle seat and you don't want to like lean to the side when you have strangers next to you and you kind of just try to stay upright and inevitably fall forward, it kind of like helps support you a little bit more that way. So, and those ones are all a little bit pricier. They range from this, you know, I said this one's about $25. They go up to like probably about 50. But like I said, this one super comfy, like definitely quality for the price. Honestly, there's no reason to get one of the cheap airport ones when it costs the same as this. So yeah, if you've got a flight plan sometime in the future, check them out. If you want to see more videos like this, you know, like and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.